Devon, Roy Williams was saying this might be the best defensive game he's ever had played against him since he's been there. How would you kind of evaluate how you guys played defensively?
I think we kind of scrambled, and I think we did a good job of getting back, and we scrambled for each other and made plays on the defensive end, being able to block shots, and they were kind of killing us on the offensive glass in the first half. I think we did a better job in the second half, but I think we did a pretty good job today.
Speaking of those offensive boards they had, UNC being UNC, I know you expect them to get some, but they get 19, but they only scored 12 points off of those. Did you guys get maybe a little lucky in a way, or did you just recover well, do you think?
Yeah, sometimes we recover well, sometimes we get luck. The guys might have missed wide open shots, but I think all in all, we did a better job in the second half. It's a big team, and it's hard to keep those guys up the glass.
Isaiah, the 19 turnovers, obviously great defense can do different things, shooting percentage, all that. Why are you guys forcing so many turnovers right now?
There's a big emphasis on ball pressure right now, and I don't know besides that, bro. You got anything?
Yeah, I think we're just trying to be active, and our active hands are, like he said, the ball pressure and active hands are kind of making a difference.
Did you guys talk about what DeAndre Hunter's given you, and did you see that coming last year?
Yeah, he's really skilled. We moved him to the 4 before whatever game we played last, and then yeah, Virginia Tech, and then he started playing really well there, and I'm encouraging him to try to exploit those mismatches just because I know it's harder to guard a perimeter guy who's playing the 4. So just tell him to attack, and he seems to have found his groove right now, which is good for him, man. I'm happy for him.
Pick one in the back.
Devon, one of your best games shooting, 4 for 4 from downtown. Is this one of your best games you ever had shooting-wise from three-point land?
Yeah, I guess if I'm 4 and 4 from 3, I guess. But I just shooting with confidence and taking the shots when they're there.
Isaiah, I asked Tony about just the level that you guys are playing at defensively this early in the season. He said it has a lot to do with the fact that you guys have been within the program and kind of are used to playing within the system. Is that a big reason why you guys maybe are playing the best defensive basketball you've played? Do you feel like you are playing the best defensively you've played under Tony this early?
I don't know about that. I just think that the guys who are the captains or whatever take a lot of pride in defending and things like that. I know for a fact I do. Especially coming into this game with Luke May. I know Devon does the same thing. He was telling the guys in the huddle that he had buried when he was going just to try to slow him down. And Jack does the same thing. He's guarding guys one-on-one inside, so it's personal. And, that's how we take it, and I think that has something to do with it.
Isaiah, you mentioned Luke May, and he can stretch you different ways. Today he was only 2 for 10, and it seemed that every shot was contested. What were you trying to do against him, and was it personal?
Yeah, I take all my matchups personally. And, this was kind of a game like we had against Davidson with their 4-man where he was stretching and things like that. So we set up our schedule well, but I take all these matchups seriously. So I didn't want him to score. That's kind of, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to frustrate him and things like that, and went from there.
Devon, correct me if I'm wrong, but have you never lost to Carolina in this building?
Nah, I don't think so.
Was that anything you thought about beforehand?
No, not necessarily.
What do you think about the accomplishment now?
I think it's big to get a win in your home, at your house, and we're 3-0 in the ACC right now, so we're just trying to keep our foot on the pedal and learn from our mistakes.
Back-to-back games, slowing down a high-octane offense type thing, but you also had 3 shot clock violations, but on the offensive end, I think 8 dunks to their 0. How does that factor when you're playing like those? How does that compare to when the big defensive plays hype you up? Does it do the same type of thing? Do you feed off it on the other end as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think getting back on defense is the biggest thing for us. We did that with Virginia Tech, and we try to do it with UNC, even though they were kind of getting down the lane a little bit, and finishing the plays on the glass was big for us too. So and then when we can get steals and get out in transition and get dunks, it hypes the crowd up, and it's kind of in our favor.
Time for 2 more. Sam, and then here.
Looking ahead to Tuesday, the last 2 times you guys played Syracuse, it obviously kind of pretty much went the same way. Is that something you think about at all for either player, and what do you guys kind of have to do to change it up?
Yep, there you go.
No. Every year is a new year, different personnel. You know the zone's coming, and we're going to have good practice with that. But no, not for real.
I agree.
Devon, this is a little bit related to the question you answered 2 questions ago, but when you get the ball at midcourt and nothing but you and the basket ahead of you and you know you're going to dunk, I mean, what's that experience? That has to be one of the most exciting plays for a player, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's that like?
I don't know. Most of the time I'm thinking about which dunk I'm going to do.
Oh, my God.
Nah, I'm just slaying, man.
No,
I just try to keep it simple, make sure I don't miss it, because, I mean, I think last year in here I missed a wide open one. So just try to keep it simple and try to get the crowd into it.
I know.
All right, with that.